Okay, now I believe we have started. I see a line going up and down, and yes, I believe, oh, I don't see any microphone, there it is. Okay, good. I am on. Good? Alright, great, thanks. Okay, thank you everybody for showing up, and today I'm going to again talk a little bit about Pythagoras and the relationship of divinity. If you think of Pythagoras, the time of Pythagoras is like pretty boring, you know, just a lot of, debauchery, and thievery, and, and ripping people off, and a lot of shit going on. A lot of people enslaved, a lot of lives that were very hard. But at the same time, there were these people like Pythagoras who were very interested in the philosophy aspect of things. And Pythagoras became very, very much tuned to the relationship of sound and vibration and the color that came with the spectrums, when seen through a crystal. So he started measuring these things, and their relationships to mathematics and geometric reality. So geometry started getting developed, and from Euclidean relationships to Socrates' philosophy and geometric reality of Platonic and on to Pythagorean theories. And Pythagoras was like, super duper technology at the time. It gave things to society that was overwhelmingly new technology, which was like the guitar, or different instruments. And each one of these instruments started off as a monochord. So it started off boring. One simple thing, just sitting there as a monochord, kind of looking like this. And you got maybe 8 strings, 1 string, and you have these bells, each one a different size. Each one has a different sound to them, so he numbers them. So you can play them in a harmonic ratio. Each one overtones or overflows that harmonic ratio one over the other. When you play 2 together, you get harmonic ratios. So this is very much moving him. It moves his higher mind, it moves his thinking, it opens his soul. So this is his personal experience. He's developing soul therapy. He's developing his masterfulness to get through the first 2 initiations. And he's using the foundation blocks of other masters, who have done the same thing. So he, in the way in which it's really done, it's done through this process of developing new technologies. And that's not really understood. Most people think that it's by developing ashrams, but in reality it's by developing new sensory development. Enlightenment is higher forms of consciousness, and that consciousness is senses, development of senses, attuning senses, becoming aware of what it is that harms you and what it is that makes you a better person. So this became a science of developing the soul, and the science was not to teach, do this, don't do that, but to have people listen to these instruments and sit down and be quiet and listen to it and listen to the music and the songs, the poems that were said at the time. So you can see that the instrument that they had then are very much like the ones we have today. And these are all attuned to the same relationship of the Pythagorean relationship. And there are up to 100 strings on some of these things. And you can get them in a large bed where you lay down on that bed and someone plays it. Yeah, that's intense. That's very powerful. This is another type of monochord that you play by sticks, and it's the beginning of the playing or the making of a piano. Yeah, so you hit the little string like you do on a piano, and it creates this note. And every one of these little pieces of wood that hold the string up make a different level of frequency. Yeah, so when you move those up and down, you create different frequencies. So the whole instrument changes as you move these up and down, or you tighten the strings on the end, and you create new frequencies. Yeah? So that's his science. He added that to society, to humanity, and to create what all the way to the music that we have today and the sciences that we have today that got us to the moon, that gave E equals MC squared. You know, it wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the science that comes with relativity. And relativity is based on this. It's based on the science that's found in the waves in matter, whether it be sound or light or the waves of X-ray. All of these things can mathematically be measured. Yeah? So it's through measurement of these very simple realities and finding the similarities, yeah, where E equals MC squared, that's a state of relativity. Things relate. Just the simple reality of E equals MC squared is based on a maximum big reality of physics. Yeah? And that's based on this. Yeah? So all of that is based on a harmonic ratio of reality. That's its foundation of getting that physics together, being able to come up with these quantum realities, geometry, trigonometry, moving on to higher mathematics. So, but it's applied to this theory, it's applied. So you take that theory and you move it up a little bit higher, and you see this principle also applied in geometry, in astronomy, and in our physics that gets us to the moon, that understands the distance between the moon and the earth. And how are we going to get a ship from here to there? We have to know these equations, and we better be correct. Yeah? So we know that the earth is a certain amount of miles. Yeah? But then we find out that if you take the dimensions of a dodecahedron, or dimensions of a icosahedron, or any of the geometric forms, they all come out to the equation of 5040. Yeah? And that is one of the most rarest numbers in all the numbers. And yet it comes out as our planet. It comes out as sacred geometric form. Yeah? It comes out as not only does it apply in Pythagorean theory to the relationship of sound and notes and rock and roll and all the things that we do with music, but we're playing something that's created by a harmonic relationship that is divinity. Yeah? So inside the same harmonic relationships is built in this reality of how the geometry in relation, sacred geometry in relationship to the moon. How sacred is just the moon itself. Just the moon. Yeah? The earth is the basis of the 5040. Yeah? And all its sacred relationship to geometry. But this has its own basis of geometry and its relationship to the square. Yeah? And how it applies to the same harmonic value. So its planets, its connections of planets and moons and all these things are all divinely, individually sacred in themselves, individually. And then we take the same thing and we apply color to visible light spectrums. Yeah? And we see that visible light spectrums have a frequency to them, frequency of intervals. And those are sound. Yeah? And then we have waveform of intervals. That's light. Yeah? So we have red is within the sound of 430 to 480. So around 432. Yeah, that's red. Now when we look into this and we study further in these days, we get more spiritual, we've developed a lot of other things, and we've come to what is the energetic principle of chakras. And we find out that the root chakra is the 432, and it's the frequency of the root chakra that aligns to the frequency that's also found in color. 432. Yeah, and the same color, red, which goes to the root. Yeah, so this same esoteric reality in esoteric values or understanding is also applied in physics. So in divinity of physics. So our human body is energetically very, very receptive to this divine moon, this divine earth, these divine sounds, light and color. Yeah, just by nature alone, let alone, we don't have to be real smart and know everything. It's quite the opposite. We're already everything. Yeah, so it's a matter of attuning to this, and it, in itself, it has consciousness. Yeah, and it brings divinity into our mind, and that gives us transmission. It's only through relative relationship through transmission, just same as physics and relative reality. Yeah, it's through transmission that we actually get that energy. Yeah, so I do this, been doing this since I was a kid. As long as my parents knew me, I had a pyramid in my bedroom. Yeah, as long as they knew me, I had a pyramid under my pillow by Pat Flanagan. Yeah, by the time I was 6 or 7 years old, I had pyramids under my pillow. Yeah, I made pyramids out of cardboard, out of coat hangers. That's all I did was make pyramids, and I meditated. Yeah, and I resonated with tone and frequency and sound. Yeah, if I played a guitar, I wasn't interested in learning how to play the guitar. I was interested in playing the notes that gave me the frequency that goes with the awakening. Yeah, so then I played very harmonic, melodic notes, and those are the songs that I do. Yeah, not by what I learned from someone else, but it's under Pythagorean principles that I play my music. Yeah, so it's pretty trippy.
Okay, I believe I am here.
Yeah, there we go. I gotta get rid of that. There. I think that's me live, right? Over there, it's me live. Okay, good. All right. So that's the influence of Pythagoras. That's the influence of our Earth. Yeah, and in the hierarchy, in the relationship of people wanting to attain spirituality, they want to go from being mundane and get into a more spiritual place. There really is a safety process. Yeah. It's created in heaven that in the spiritual transition, it's done safely. Yeah, there's a science involved. Yeah, and that's not known until we get to a more divine place where the teachers are at an evolved place where they're aware of my teaching that creates this safety zone. Yeah, and it allows the first two initiations to be the easiest initiations. Yeah, the easiest. Yeah, and there is no dark lodge whatsoever involved in it. Yeah, it is soul therapy directly with the Christ. Yeah, and you're receiving Pythagorean influences that gives you tools and things that brings you right into the first degree initiation, knowing that you're learning how to be like Christ. You're learning what Christ does, how he does it, and why he does it. Yeah, that's what you should be expecting. Yeah, this isn't going to go off to go to India and talk to this guru and get your directions, and I'm not going to do that to you, because there's so much bullshit that's out there that is misleading, and it is totally not right in relationship to how we get through our initiations. Yeah, we get through transmission. Yeah, and I do a lot of work. Yeah, I create more tapes, I create more music, I create more in the relationship of healing through sound and light and color and geomancy. Yeah, and that applies the application of the monastic energy. Yeah, because that's the only way monastic energy is done with the Holy Spirit, is through sacred geomancy. That's the application of the Holy Spirit. Anything else is a bunch of talk. Anything else is a bunch of rhetoric. Anything else is a bunch of quoting off a page and interpreting that this is what this means, and trying to get you through blind faith to follow that. Yeah, and I don't do any of that. Yeah, all I tell you is that these tools work this way. This does this. I built this place. I'm in transmission. This is who I am. Let's meditate. Yeah, because that's how we get through not only the first two initiations, but we facilitate the shifting and the healing of the planet. The more we work with the tools, the more you allow the elements to move through your physical bodies and be transmuted. And I can heal the nations quicker. Yeah, it can only be done through human beings, because human beings are the vehicle of the Devic element. Yeah, that's not found in a dog or an animal or anything else. It's only found in human beings. Yeah, they're angels. Yeah, so that's Deva, that's Buddha. Yeah, so that's all the earth has got to count on to be able to bring itself into higher elemental order is human beings. Yeah, so meditation is how we have to do it. Building temples, meditating only in a pyramid. Not, we can go into a building and meditate, but we really should be connected to the divine reality of our sacred harmonic value. Yeah, and that's a pyramid. Yeah, not just a stupa sitting outside and us sitting in a box, going Om Mani Padme Hum. Yeah, it's got to be soul therapy. Yeah, and they even understand that. Tibetans understand that. They're in transition toward that. So that's the process. It's an easy road. Yeah, it's not the education of having to go to a university. Yeah, it's a process of transition. And once you get past the first two initiations and you've really cleaned your act up, you're ready for a university. Yeah? You're ready to get your head together and start focusing and come into human society and find a way to fix the things that are the problems and have a calling. Yeah, and be directed in whatever area it is, no matter what area or level. That's the influence of the vibration of the soul, is to give people enough influence to wake up so that they can heal and not be drawn toward misdirected things that are more habitual and less evolving and more inertia fulfilling same old shit stuff. Yeah, make sense? Yeah. Read that in a book. All right, so here we go. Let's do the invocation. By the time the darshan comes, I'll have this studio running, and I'll have most of my instruments here, and you'll see that what I have is mainly Pythagorean, ancient Pythagorean instruments, starting from a monochord to a 12-string monochord, a 4-string, 6-string, 7-string, 12-string, and all these types of bowls, that he would have just loved to have. I've got the cream of the crop, because we're at the great days. Tibet has done what it did. All the masters have done what they've done. So we're really at a place to where I can bring out, in a darshan, certain things where people can receive healings that aren't normally being able to be done. So that's my future, is to use these instruments and do these pujas and create these new healing energies and processes for people. But during this darshan, I'll actually be using those instruments during the darshan. So you'll get to experience, a lot of those instruments and what they're about and all of that. So that's pretty cool. Plus, I'm bringing some lasers in. I'm bringing a blue laser in and a red laser, and I'm bringing a green laser in. So we're all going to be feeling color. Yeah, I'm not going to be shooting it on you, but it's going to be it's going to be radiating in this pyramid dramatically. Yeah, and so lasers will be a blue laser will be going through all the crystals, and everybody will be picking that up. So that'll be awesome. So, and that's in transmission, so it's the same thing as us doing advanced soul therapy for everyone. When you want to do advanced soul therapy, a darshan with me is a advanced soul therapy. So enjoy. Yeah. All right, so close your eyes, relax. Okay, repeat after me. I invoke the power, the love, and the wisdom of my ashram, soul, and monad. To guide me into the right activity in the plan. To clarify and stimulate my mind. To transform and transmute my feelings and emotions. To energize and vitalize and heal my physical and etheric body. So there is a normal flow of energy in my physical and etheric body. Through this day and every day, I ask this in the name of the Christ to serve the One. All in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, take a deep breath. I invoke the 7 rays to raise the senses of humanity, expressed as the soul. I invoke the sense of hearing, the 7th ray, hearing the word of God, the word of power. I invoke the sense of touch and the 1st ray as the finger of God. I invoke
as the sixth ray, as the desire of all the nations. I invoke the sense of smell as the fourth ray, the beauty of revelation. I invoke the sense of intellect as the fifth ray, as the knowledge of God. I invoke the sense of intuition as the second ray, the understanding of God. I call upon the synthesis of the seven rays to be expressed through your personality. As the first ray of ideas, the mental body, the purpose, your life. Second ray of ideals, the astral body and your quality. The third ray of idols, your physical body and your form. The fourth ray of the fourth kingdom of humanity in balance. The fifth ray, the third kingdom, the animals. The sixth ray, the second kingdom, vegetables. Seventh ray, the first kingdom, minerals. I call upon the relationships of all the kingdoms to penetrate the personality of humanity and express its collective soul. Seventh ray and the fourth ray as the mineral kingdom. The second ray, the fourth ray, and the sixth ray as the vegetable kingdom. The third ray and the sixth ray as the animal kingdom. Fourth ray and the fifth ray as the human kingdom. The fifth ray and the second ray as the egoic soul. The sixth ray and the third ray as planetary lives. First ray and the seventh ray penetrate the planet Earth, to bring forth the geomantic relationships of the soul, to integrate the egoic ray and the personality ray of each nation, and to express its true expression, to make manifest peace on earth as one living whole body of God. I call upon India to bring forth its fourth ray of personality and to integrate its first ray of soul to manifest the hidden light. I invoke China to bring forth its third ray personality, to integrate its egoic soul into its first ray, to manifest as the indication of the way. I invoke Germany to bring forth its first ray of personality, to integrate its egoic soul of fourth ray, to preserve the truth. I invoke France and its third ray personality, to integrate its fifth ray of egoic soul, to release the light. I invoke Great Britain and its first ray personality and its second ray egoic soul to bring forth its service. I invoke Italy and its fourth ray personality to integrate its sixth ray soul, to carve the two paths. I invoke the United States and its sixth ray personality to integrate its second ray soul, to light the way. I invoke Russia and its sixth ray personality to integrate its seventh ray soul, to link the two ways. I invoke Australia and its fifth ray personality to integrate its fourth ray soul and serve the light way. I invoke Spain and its seventh ray personality to integrate its sixth ray soul to disperse the clouds. I invoke Brazil and its second ray personality to integrate its fourth ray soul to hide the sea. I invoke the entity of this planet, the planetary locus, to incarnate the life and the beingness of this planet. I invoke the expression of the second ray force into both the personality and the egoic rays of the nation and the personality of the egoic ray of humanity, to fuse itself and its light into its healing process. I invoke the esoteric law of solar energy to make manifest the cosmic force of light, love, and peace. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May humanity of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of all mankind be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us do our part. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of mankind. Let the rider from the secret place come forth. And come, say, come forth, O Mighty One. Let the souls of mankind awaken to the light. And may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of the woe has come. Come forth, O Mighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, O Mighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, O Mighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of mankind. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of mankind. May Christ return to earth. center, where the will of God is known. Let purpose guide the little wills of men, a purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of mankind, let the plan of love and light work out. And may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. The sons of men are one, and I am one with them. I seek to love, not hate. I seek to serve and not exact due service. I seek to heal, not to hurt. Let pain bring due reward of light and love. Let the soul control the outer form, and let life and all events and bring forth to light the love which underlies the happenings of the time. Let vision come and insight. Let the future stand revealed. Let inner union demonstrate and outer cleavage be gone. Let love prevail. Let all mankind love.
Okay, just relax. Okay, open your eyes. Okay. Okay, the focus is simplicity. Yeah, in Buddhism, it's the middle way, and a lot of people have a real hard time trying to figure out, how the middle way is so middle way when there's so much education involved, when there's so much, like in Tibetan Buddhism or Zen or whatever you're going to do. It's like, you got to give up breathing, to get through this thing. I just don't see that. It's hard, but it's not that hard. Yeah. And through transmission, the process of the elements that you need to transfigure in order to become awakened, is much more based on my transmission than it's based on a person's, substituting life, for complete fanaticism, and just, negating all of life, just to think that materialism and any form of life has nothing to do with spiritualism, because spiritualism is so, amazingly, miraculously fantasy, like Disneyland, and it's really what we have in life. Yeah, and the transmission that I put out is a science that changes the influence of the cellular structure that's built inside of people. Yeah, there's imperil, there's forces of thought form, that takes structure inside of a person's physical body and in their emotional body on an astral level. Without us knowing it, we have a very concrete self, and it's based on these realities, these realities that psychokinetically, that we have psychic ability, and who's in charge of us, if psychokinetic abilities is part of what we can do, which we found in the research of psychicism, that, people can be receivers, people can be transmitters, and the transmitter has the ability to will another person into wanting something, or thinking that they're interested in something, or, seeing something that they see more in a room than anything else. There's 80 trucks in a room, only one of them looks a certain way, and the transmitter is only focusing on that one, and the receiver is only able to see that one, and they're only interested in that one, and no one's saying anything. They're just sitting in a room completely down the hall, and all there is a camera, and you see the transmitter looking at the model, one model, and you see the person in the room just being asked to pick out a car, out of 20 cars, they go over and pick out the car, and they say, pick out a book. They go up to the library area, and the guy's got a book right in front of him, and then he opens the page, and he says, open a page, and he starts reading from the page. The guy who's transmitting says, read from the page, And the guy who's receiving picks it up, reads those very words that you're hearing in the other room. Yeah. Now this is done without any effort. A transmitter, all he's doing is just thinking, just focusing on an object, and he has this ability that has the ability to take away human rights. The power to completely take away another person's complete personality structure and turn them into an automaton, both mental, emotional, and physical. Their smell would be structurally according to the person who's transmitting. Their taste would be according to the person who's transmitting. Yeah. Their desire, their interest, yeah, even their repulsion is according to the person who's transmitting. So that's why Buddhism is really important. You don't know this is going on, but in Tibetan Buddhism we do. We know there's a group out there called the Bon. Yeah, they don't like us. Yeah, and they're affecting all the other groups, and now we're all separate. Yeah, and there's a lot of them doing conjuring and all kinds of stuff. And Milarepa, we know the history, we know the stories. Yeah, and whether you look at the Blackfoot Indians, or you look at the Cheyenne Indians, or you look at the Comanche Indians, or the Sioux. Yeah, they all have black magicians, sorcerers that sit on a mountain and turned everybody evil. Everybody against everybody, made people greedy, made people, so receptive that they sold the land. Yeah, they gave everything up. They even turned against their own people, because of their glamours that were instilled by the Dark Lodge, that they did not know was being impressed upon them by a black magician. Transmitter, receiver, blind faith, reception, transmission, will, arrogance, vengeance, those thought forms control another person. The outcome, if you have vengeance, imagine if that person trips over, gets in a car wreck, or life is a mess. That's how you get paid. You feel better when that happens. Evil's evil. And it's totally different than empathy. It's totally different than caring. It's totally different than making it possible for the person to not go through bad stuff. Yeah, that's Buddhism. Yeah, but there is this thought form process, and all the conjuring of spell binding puts those things into us as a knee-jerk reaction called glamour, or vices. Yeah, and we just become channels for that which is the transmitter somewhere, someplace. Does that make sense? And that could be your mom, could be your dad, could be your uncle, could be your cousin. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's not about paranoia. It's just about reality. Yeah. You want to love everyone. Yeah. You want to practice Buddhism. You want to step back as far as you possibly can. You don't want to let go, be vegetarian. You don't want to let go and, stop all relationships in life. You don't want to let go of all life. Yeah? You want to step into life, but you want to let go. Yeah? Does that make sense? It's all about really letting go. Yeah? And making sure that you're receptive to knowing the work that I'm doing. I only do vibrational work, and I don't do, you're a special person, therefore you get a special blessing. And it doesn't work, I don't do that. So no matter how hard you work, it's not going to make you any better relationship to me. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah, it's all about everybody's in this thing, and we're all going to heal at the same time. So the more we practice what I'm talking about, the more we're receptive and relaxing and letting go, the more this thing gets really pumped up, and goes out fast. Enjoy. That's it. Enjoy. I'm trying to get people to attend the darshan. It's really important. Yeah, there are people all over the planet, and it is beyond your wildest imagination important for the next 10 years. And what's going to happen to me, for me to step out, I have to test everything through darshans. If it doesn't reach a certain level, I don't go further out. Yeah. So it's really important that we're at around 100 at least, or I don't go to England, I don't go to India,